Kay Hughes is design director at HS2, and she was also head of design for the Olympic Delivery Authority and project sponsor at the Foreign and Commonwealth Office before that. So Kay, you've had lots of experience in the interface between designers and large corporate clients. So what's your approach to delivering good design? Is it sort of along the lines of Frank Pick, looking to create a consistent feel right across the system, or is it about letting lots of flowers bloom like Roland Paletti did at the Jubilee Line extension?
So I would say at the Olympics, the approach was very much about letting a lot of flowers bloom across the site. And here at HS2, which I joined about a year and a half ago, we received hybrid build consent, and a lot of the design work happened or started before I arrived. And it's very much a sort of let flowers bloom in the sense that we have four stations, three of them which are designed, which all have very different approaches and very much based on their locality. So Old Oak Common, the interchange station near Solihull, which is a very green station and is integrated into the local environment, and then Curzon Street, which is very much a large portal into Birmingham. So they have very different approaches. So very much the kind of, if you would call it, the Roland Paletti part, but of course we do need to have a consistent thread that runs between them. And so one of our team's remits is to look at the customer experience and the look and feel of that as that's delivered over the next few years. So how does one find that integrity of look, graphics, rolling stock, etc., that flows through the program, that makes this something that when you enter the station, you know instantly where it is and what it looks like and how to navigate your way through the route. We had a design vision that was put forward in 2017, which was our response to DFT on how we would deliver design. So it's very much about people, places, and time. So protecting people's time, making sure that the places work well and that people's experience is good. And that's the kind of the overarching umbrella that we all work to. So I suppose if anything now, Leslie Green might be sort of somebody who interests me, and that, bringing forward that sort of colouring and thinking through the stations, is something that for me resonates very strongly with London, and I would like to see carried through the stations as well.
But even Roland had difficulty convincing engineers of the importance of design, which was seen as sort of by a lot of engineers as holding up the main job of getting the trains running. But I guess has all that changed in an era where social value and, as you say, sort of customer experience is much higher on the agenda?
So I would say the first thing is that there's a big difference between us and the Jubilee line in that we run, a lot of our route is above ground. So we've got 140 miles going up to Birmingham. 32 miles of that is in tunnels, which is longer than the Channel Tunnel actually. And people don't realise how huge the amount of tunnelling is, and a large proportion of it is behind noise barriers. But that said, we have a huge influence on the landscapes. So the large strategic landscape delivery along the line of route is really, really very important. So we don't get biodiverse, well considered, low carbon landscapes without that sort of design input. And so that's really critical to the programme. There's a lot of kind of soil movement, water management, especially with climate change. So design has to be really important there. In terms of the stations, we have Schedule 17, which is our planning consent, takes it to quite a good degree of design, and we've got a team here who oversee the kind of delivery of that and make sure that the pieces are seamlessly joined together. So yes, everybody is focused on programme. It's a big driver. Government very much behind programme and cost, but we do get a lot of support from the DfT on the design side as well. So that's quite critical to a delivery. And also we have the design panel. So they kind of independently check us, test us, make sure that we're doing the right thing, and also bring a huge amount of extra kind of depth of thinking, which is really helpful to the programme.
So how does the system work? As you say, you've got the design review panel. You've got quite a substantial team of people. But I mean, how do you select the teams, and what's the process for delivering high quality design?
So our team are about 24 people. So we have art and culture, urban design, architecture and landscape, which are pretty. So we set the guidance, and we've got the design vision. We set very clear guidance documents that go out with the procurements through the programme. And then a point in the programme, so for example, phase 1, which is London to Birmingham, which is sort of out on site and beginning now, we interface with the different delivery partners to kind of steer them in terms of the design and make sure that the guidance is being complied with. So it's a kind of steering role at that point, as opposed to a hard yes or no role. But we do have a lot of technical guidance in there that they have to deliver. So the team have worked really hard to kind of bed that in all the way through the programme. And then as we do that, then new things always come up. The arts and culture team doing a lot of work at the moment to integrate things like clocks and water fountains, etc., into the stations. So we kind of bring that life and joy to them, and make sure that they're not hard engineering all the way.
And so where are you up to now? I mean, clearly, as you say, quite a lot of work done a bit before you joined, but where is it now, and how is sort of new design work scheduled in?
So on phase 1, we had what was called notice to proceed last February, and that's been a massive cultural change. So that's where HS2 effectively stopped being the client, and the contractors are now the client. And we have been, working really hard to engage with them. So there's kind of a big cultural shift around making sure that we engage in the proper way and at the right level to do that. We do quite a lot of work around influencing and kind of raising the really critical issues that they need to deliver. In terms of selecting teams, the main work, civils and stations, isn't the only parts. We also have depots, and we're also going to have rolling stock coming through later. And then we also had hybrid build consent for phase 2A, which runs from Birmingham up to Crewe, and that is being developed. So the starting designs for that are being developed with very big teams, and that's going out to a design delivery partner in the autumn. And we're looking at the procurement so that we can start to bring in smaller teams alongside the bigger contractors. So that's our objective there, to bring in that kind of good high quality thinking. But across the piece, we've got pretty good, well, we've got very excellent teams, really. We've got Grimshaw working on Curzon Street. We've got Wilkinson Air doing Old Oak Common. Arabs have done a kind of outstanding BREEAM design in Solihull at Interchange. So really high kind of credibility, best of the best design teams working across the programme. We've got Glen Howes at the moment helping out on huge depot in Washwood Heath. So, sort of we're bringing in excellence across the line, really, as far as designers are concerned.
Very good. There was a lot made of cycling infrastructure alongside the rail line. Is that something you're looking to? Obviously, as a keen cyclist yourself.
Well, actually, you picked up on something that really excites me. So there was originally there was a proposal to put cycling alongside the line of route, and in all of the kind of pressures around cost, that sort of got slightly lost. But we do have lots of commitments under our undertakings and assurances to consider cycling, make sure that it's in, we don't lessen it. But we've been implementing a significant program over the last year, really, to bring in 11 pilot sites to improve and connect out. We've got an excellent urban design and integration team who've been looking at the policies that are coming up and the infrastructure planning around cycling from the local authorities on either side, and their growth strategies and how we can link into those. So we've got 11 studies coming through. We've got another 10 coming through on phase 1. We're also looking really hard at how we can reuse haul roads. They don't all need to be road cycling routes. They can also be mountain cycling routes and other routes, and how we connect those into the new networks that need to come through the local authorities to deliver on cycling and walking. And I watched the Committee for Climate Change report that came out last week, and one of the areas that they said needed to be responded to was active travel, cycling and walking. I think that we're beginning to bring that into the programme in a really comprehensive way, and we are hoping that the DFT will help us with that over the coming year, and we were going to put a bid into one of their funds to do that. So we're really hoping that we can create a network of cycling routes all the way along the line of route and link that with our green corridor and make something really kind of wonderful on either side of HS2. That's our aspiration, certainly.
Very good. Well, glad to hear it. And Kay, thank you very much for your insights, and look forward to seeing the line take shape over the next few years. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely to catch up, Peter. Thank you.